Think positive.
Welcome back to the Goal Ambrose podcast, GA for short. I'm your host, Prince. This is a space for inner work, self-improvement, self-discovery, mindset, accountability, integrity, reflection, and personal development. This podcast is built for growth, for honesty, and for becoming a better version of yourself one day at a time. New episodes drop every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's episode is called Seperate, Headspace. There's a situation a lot of us have been in, even if we never really named it. It's not loud. It's not obvious. It's quiet. A moment where something feels off after an interaction. Nothing bad happened. No argument. No tension. But you can tell something landed wrong. Someone walked away with a version of you that isn't really you, and you feel it. This happens more than people admit. Someone sees one side, one moment, one detail, and their mind fills in the rest. That's where thoughts get misplaced, not out of hate, not on purpose, just too fast. The mind wants answers. It wants things to make sense. So it builds a picture without waiting for the full view. A quiet person gets labeled as distant. A calm person gets labeled as cold. Someone changing gets labeled as different. And suddenly, there's a story that doesn't line up with the truth. What makes this strange is that the truth, it never left. It's still there. Still solid. Still real. Now, there are two things in the same place. What someone believes and what actually is. And this is where it gets heavy. Because nothing is said, but something is happening. It almost becomes a silent battle of what's right and what's a lie. Not spoken, not argued, just felt. There's a moment where the urge to explain shows up, to clear it up, to fix it, to make it right. And sometimes that urge passes, not because it doesn't matter, but because it wouldn't change anything. That moment right there, that's the crossroad. One side is the picture in someone's head. The other side is the truth sitting with you. And for a second, they just face each other. No talking, no fixing, no correcting. That pause can feel longer than it actually is. It's the moment where the body knows something isn't aligned, even if the mind hasn't caught up yet. Nothing moves forward. Nothing breaks down. Everything just sits right where it landed. That's usually when people replay it later. Not to argue. Not to win. Just to understand what didn't line up. And the more it's replayed, the clearer the gap becomes. Not a loud gap, a quiet one. The kind that doesn't cause drama, but still creates distance. Not because anyone meant to, but because nothing was said. That's how space forms, not from conflict, but from silence. Most people have stood here before, being misunderstood, being read wrong, being placed somewhere that doesn't fit. And if we're honest, most people have done it too. Looked at someone, assumed something, moved on. That's why this feels familiar, because it's human. This isn't about blame. It's about noticing how fast thoughts form, how quiet the truth can be, how silence can say more than words. Sometimes the hardest thing is letting things sit, not rushing to explain, not rushing to defend, just letting space exist. That space feels uncomfortable, but it's real. It's where awareness starts, where growth begins, where things slow down. Not every misunderstanding needs fixing. Not every thought needs answering. Some moments are just seen and left where they are. That doesn't erase the truth. It stays. Because truth doesn't rush. It doesn't argue. It waits. And eventually, everything reaches the same place. Stillness. Not as an ending, as a condition. Nothing pushing forward. Nothing pulling back. No need for response. No need for reaction. Things remain as they are without being adjusted. Time continues, but without urgency. Moments pass without being marked. Nothing competes for attention. Nothing asks to be addressed. The space holds. What mattered enough to arrive here doesn't need reinforcement. What didn't doesn't follow. Everything that needed motion already used it. What remains doesn't move. Not frozen. Not empty. Just settled. This is where effort stops adding value, where interference would only disturb what has already balanced itself, which, in this case, is you. No clarification improves it. No action sharpens it. Stillness stays intact because nothing presses against it. And when nothing presses, nothing breaks. Nothing changed. You're still the same. That was just a separate headspace. I hope you found something worth taking with you today. Maybe a new perspective. Maybe a moment to pause and reflect. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. Your presence matters. If this resonated with you, share it with someone you care about because growth spreads through connection. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself, stay grounded, and as always, be safe.